Greetings, folks. This is DC Investing. I've reached financial independence and I just want to share ideas with others who might be trying to do the same. Today, I'm talking about, I guess the main problem that folks have is what do you invest in? If you're looking for investing ideas, one possibility is a company called Energy Transfer, and I'll tell you about why I think it's that way. The ticker is ET. Before I talk about it, I have to know that this is a master limited partnership, which means if you invest in this one, then you're going to get a K1 statement. It's not bad to issue into your taxes, but it is something you have to deal with. So it's just one more step. But what's nice about Energy Transfer is it has a high dividend yield. It's somewhere near 7.5%, which kind of makes calculating things as you move forward in the future easier because you can kind of count on that dividend as you move forward. But the main story that I wanted to bring up is the growth story on Energy Transfer. And it works the same with this particular pipeline stock as it does several others. So basically, they had their investor presentation that happened just recently. They had earnings that came out. They did okay on earnings, but we're really looking at the growth story. And so one thing I thought was interesting in the presentation that I'll put here, as you can see, is their estimates for the future growth for the company. And basically, they said they have about 60 different electric utilities that are requesting hookups to their natural gas pipeline system. And the utilities are there to make electricity from the pipeline. So there's 60 of them that want to make connections. And some of those, I imagine, are coal power plants that are trying to move to the cleaner energy source of natural gas, and it's cheaper. But they're also um, making judgments to say in the future we're going to need more electricity for electric cars, more houses, and most of all data centers. Now, what's interesting is also they're stating that there's actually 200 data centers that are making requests to also be hooked up to the natural gas grid for energy transfer. So between the two of those, you've got 60 power plants and 200 data centers that all want connections to the natural gas grid so they can make their own electricity. So energy transfer is it just moves the energy around. Other folks are the ones who actually produce it. So that's a large amount of growth that could happen over the next while. Now, each project takes time, but what this means for a stock investor is that you have a growth story behind a high dividend paying stock. So together, if you can get both a good yield from the distributions that ET pays, but also have a growth story where as the company gets bigger, the share price can also increase, then you get kind of the best of both worlds. You have a growing company and a high passive income company. So there's a lot of different projects that are coming down the way. Now, you may or may not believe the growth story, but if you kind of think about what's going on in the AI world right now, the stock market is up because of the AI story. If the AI story is not real, then the stock market is overvalued. So if you're an investor at all in the S&P 500, really you have to believe this AI story right now, because the hyperscalers are the things that are fueling the growth in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. If it's not going to happen, then the whole market is overvalued. Everything's going down. So you kind of have to believe it's going to happen in order to believe that valuations or the stock market can continue. And if it's so, then you need electricity. And electricity, you either have to burn coal or oil or natural gas or do nuclear for it. One of those things has to happen. Natural gas is the easiest way for a power company to generate electricity. It's cleaner than coal, um, and it's just more readily available. And now I'd love to see more nuclear reactors in the world today, but chances are those are going to take a decade before they get approval and get built. So you can do natural gas a whole lot quicker. So if the AI story is real, your utilities need to boost up power. Your data centers need to generate their own power, and chances are the best way to do that is through natural gas. So another part of the growth story behind Energy Transfer is they just announced that they're going to build a new pipeline. It's going to go from, I think, the Permian Basin in Texas all the way across New Mexico into the Phoenix area. And so they're going to have connections in the New Mexico area. But Phoenix is another technology growth story. where Taiwan Semi has got a fab that they're producing there. I think Intel might also have a fab. Basically, it's kind of becoming another technology hub. It's not too far away from California. I think various folks in the technology space may be kind of shifting over there because it's cheaper overall. But yeah, Phoenix is a new growth story area, and so they need more natural gas. And Energy Transfer announced that we're going to build a pipeline over there, and they're signing up folks right now in order to commit to having long-term contracts to use the natural gas. So there's another growth story to add to that. So those two things, take a look at the investor presentation. But if you can get a high growth story out of Energy Transfer where the share price continues to go up and you also get a 7.5% yield, that's a great stock to own. So, no idea if this is really going to happen or not. I mean, the new pipeline, chances are it'll cost 3 times as much and take twice as long, but eventually, you'll get there. And I assume that Energy Transfer has kind of worked those things into their overall plan right now. So there's a potential growth story. Take a look at Energy Transfer. None of this is financial advice, but I am an owner of ET Energy Transfer. I've owned it for the past few years, and it's been a really great both growth stock, share price growth, and dividend yield. It's been a great stock for me. So take a look, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Do you guys own ET? I know some folks like EPD better than ET, but I'm just kind of looking at the growth story from the investor presentation. So like, subscribe, tell me, leave a comment below, and thanks for watching. We'll see you. Bye.